either writing it down in your printed workbooks, or you are going back to your same journal and we're doing this week's work in there. Okay. Also, this week we are going to be analyzing a lot of numbers. I like to use the Intuit Mint app on my phone to keep track of my monthly expenses. I think it might be going away in January, though. I need to look into that. But anyway, if you do rather do this on a Google Sheet in an app, that's fine. But I want you to do at least the big number work, either on the printed pages or in your notebook. Okay, just the big categories. We're going to be talking about your household income. So that number needs to be written down. How much do you bring home every single month? And then the other big numbers that need to be written down by pencil and paper, not on a computer or an app, are how much you want to save every single month, how much you want to allocate to your needs, and then how much is left for your wants. And that's the want categories where we'll try to push you to be able to save more slowly over time. But you don't have to worry about that right now. This week is just about gathering those numbers and starting to understand conceptually how you can intentionally spend, save, invest to meet those future goals. Okay, so don't panic, but just do know that this week is going to be in a little bit of intensive about gathering numbers. Okay, so I will see you on the inside as we look at the financial planner first. 3 things we're going to do this week are budget allocation and expense prioritization, effective budget creation with a savings first approach, and developing a positive and proactive financial attitude. So first, we're going to master your money by allocating your income wisely. Okay, so go ahead and print the financial planning thinking routine if you haven't done so yet, or grab your journal, because you can always pause this as I go through with my explanation of what's going to happen here. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, first let's do some learning about a 50-30-20 budget. Okay, you may or may not have heard about this before, but basically it's a simple way to organize your finances, make progress toward your future goals, and avoid stress. Remember, this is all about financial well-being. Ultimately, we're trying to meet our dreams, yes, because that's like the motivation, the excitement, that's living our best life. And that's being financially well. Financial wellness is a really important aspect that society really just kind of ignores. We don't talk about money like we should. So this simple budgeting technique looks at the big picture of where your money's going. Okay, so creating a financial plan is crucial for your financial well-being, offering clarity on your expenses, enabling savings for your future, and easing potential confusion. Simplifying the process, a 50-30 budget allocates your income into 3 categories. 50% for your essential needs, like your rent and your utilities, 20% for your financial goals, like your savings, debt reduction, your emergency fund, and retirement accounts, and 30% for just discretionary wants, such as entertainment, fashion, setting up your path, shopping, that kind of thing. So working out your allocations and then setting a budget to be able to meet those allocations is what we're going to be talking about with this thinking routine. Okay, so the very first thing you need to do is determine how much money you're bringing home each month. Okay, your monthly income is what you bring home after taxes. If you have health insurance, retirement contributions, or other savings deducted from your paycheck, add them back in. So if you're overseas and you get housing included, make an estimate of how much that housing is worth and add it back in. Okay, you'll deduct those expenses again when placing them in their respective category. For example, housing is a need. So when we get to the needs category, you will deduct that amount that you're actually not bringing home, but it's important in the allocations that it goes under needs. Okay, remember, we're looking for your total monthly income, so you'll need to also add in your spouse or partner's income as well. Okay, so that's your very first step. You can pause the video here and figure that out. You might need to look at some pay stubs. You might need to wherever you need to look. Also know that if you have streams of income like dividends in the stock market or rental property, such like we do, you also need to figure out how much after taxes you're bringing home for those numbers too, and add that in here. Okay, so step number one, how much money do you bring home each month? You really can't move forward until you know that number, because these allocations are all going to be based around that number. Okay. If you want to keep watching and just get the overview, you can do that too. And then all the directions, as you can see, are here. So step two, we're mixing up the 50-30 budget. Oftentimes the 50-30 budget is 50-30-20 is 50 your needs, 30 your wants, and 20 your savings. I'm mixing that up because when you have a pay yourself first philosophy, you actually can meet those dreams more quickly and even just get there. A lot of people that don't save and pay themselves first never get there, because every month they spend all their money. So one of the biggest ahas that a gal in my summer course had was that, you know, each year she gets a little raise, and so she was making more money. And when she went through this thinking routine, she realized that each month she made more money, or each year that she made more money, she just spent more money, right? And that's very, very common. Most of us live paycheck to paycheck. And that's not only because we have to, but that's because we're not doing this big picture work, and we're not intentionally paying ourselves first. So if you're paying yourself first, which is the philosophy that I have and that I'm sharing with you here, I have an automatic an automatic amount deducted the day after paychecks and all that comes through, that goes into my investment accounts. And so that's literally paying my future self first. And then I'm living off of the rest of the money, my needs, my rent, my utilities, all of those things, and then my wants come last. Okay. So I'm flipped it a little bit. I'm going to have you do step two, is saving and investing goals. Okay. So we're going to work out this budget, and we're going to see if you fit in these numbers at all. And if you don't, that's okay. Okay. Please be kind to yourself. This is the first time many of you are doing anything like this, and this will help you see how you could wiggle money around and grow your savings if you're not able to do that right now, or pay off your debt from this portion. Okay, so the goal is 20%, but really we want to grow that number over time. Okay, so I want you to fill in any savings that you're doing now with how much you're setting aside. Okay, then calculate the recommended savings based on your income. Okay, so you're going to take your total income that you just found, your monthly income, and multiply it by 0.2. And that's what you're going to fill in here as your recommended savings. And then I want you to fill in here what your total savings is right now. Now it says savings, but know that that means savings, investing, paying off debt. Okay, those are the three things we're talking about when we're talking about paying ourselves first. Okay, so you can pause the video and do that now, or you can just keep watching and then go back through. Step three is determine your needs. So your needs are your essential, non-negotiable, your rent or mortgage, your utilities, food, insurance, medicine. Okay, these are expenses that you have to pay no matter what, whether it's putting it on a credit card and going to debt, or hopefully not, but these are your expenses that you need each month. Okay, so go ahead and put in each need. For example, here I might put in my rent first, and then how much. Then I'm going to put my electricity, how much, my water bill, how much, my trash bill, how much, my insurance, how much, premium. Okay, then again, you're going to figure out what's the recommended, which is 50% of your income. So take that monthly income and multiply it by 0.5 and put that number here. Okay, now is your wants. So these are discretionary expenses. Okay, dining out, travel, entertainment. Okay, same thing. A $2,000 travel budget, probably not per month. Sorry, this is monthly. Stick with monthly. Maybe you put you want to travel, so you have $100 a month for traveling. Maybe you have Netflix at $12.99 and you have Max at. Put all those wants here. Okay. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, this is an ongoing process. The very first time you're doing this, you're not going to get everything in there, and that's okay. It's going to give you a ballpark allocation of where you are right now and where you might want to go. And that's a good starting point. I do this about every 6 months. And when I do, I fill in more expenses because I'm more aware of it. So sometimes a bill comes up and I'm like, oh, I forgot that one. And so I'll jot it down on a sticky note and then add it in the next time I do it. So try to get close, but also don't stop because you can't figure out each expense. Okay. Again, you will then find out your total income. The recommended is 30% for your wants. So you'll feel that number in here at the bottom. And then I'm going to have you take all three of those numbers and put them here on this sheet. So what is the recommended numbers that you got? And then what are your actual numbers? Okay. And then we're going to do some reflection. This is our observation. This is our analyzing. This is our questioning. Okay. So you're going to analyze those numbers that you just calculated, your own numbers, your current situation. Estimates are fine. Get close. Your gut will get close. And then you're going to do that recommendation, that 50, 30, 20, or like I like to say 20, 50, 30. Okay. The 30 is the pot that we might need to cut rather than our savings account. We're going to pay ourselves first. Fill out this reflection. Okay. And then what I recommend is that's a lot. So just let it sit. Just be like, I did that. I gathered things. I got my household income. I've got my pay myself first, my savings, investments, debts. I've got my needs and I've got my wants. Reflect on it in the moment if you can, and then just let it sit. I wouldn't go to the next thinking routine for a little bit because that might feel like a lot and you just kind of need to process it. And your brain just needs to get used to looking and thinking about numbers like this. Okay, so that's it for your first thinking routine. I'm excited to hear how it goes. Let me know over in the group, the community, if you have any questions, or also if you could post your reflection there, that would be amazing. This right here is a game changer. And so don't let it stop you because it also can feel overwhelming. If you want to go ahead to the growth mindset, maybe I should have done that one first this time, because you're going to need to keep on that growth mindset because you can do this. Even if your numbers are far off right now, that's okay because awareness is the first step. Getting control of those numbers and not being scared of those numbers is the first step. I promise, promise, promise you. Okay, so take care and until next time, bye.